What's up, guys? Oh yeah, we're already up like 100% right now. What's going on? What's going on? I told you guys we're gonna go live later in the day. Feel free to ask me what you guys want. I got some time to spend with you guys. Got my hookah ready. Got my Hennessy cup. So let's have a good time. Asian time. What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. I can't really do Discord, guys, because I told you I'm in so many. Let's get the morning trade this by. If we win tomorrow, I might kiss you all past funded. Nice. Indicator above VIX. Let me open them up so you guys can see them. It's the Squeeze Momentum by Lazy Bear. I'm going to go one by one, guys. So, any news on MVIS? Any predictions? So, MVIS is obviously already hit pretty damn well. I just have very big hopes for this to push up. There's been a lot of news around it that it can reach to around $5 halfway through the year. So, I mean, it can happen at any moment, which is why we took those January 17 calls that hit pretty well. We are still holding the position with MVIS. What is it at now? 140. I mean, we got in at 142. So still doing pretty good. I mean, we ended up selling half of it and holding half now. So it's a lot of good news around it. Good morning. We win tomorrow. Of course, we win on MQSP, baby. And Asian time. Just want to thank you for the things you do, man. Anytime, brother. I'm here for you guys. Might as well get a night quick scalp play. Yeah, you never know. If the Hennessy is hitting right, maybe we'll get into a play later on. You could trade SPX. Yes, 100%. I mean, I've done it multiple times. Eden. So I actually know a couple of people in the Discords that play SPX instead of SPY, and it's actually a lot more bigger of a banger. But you have to understand that if it doesn't go our way and we do take that loss, it is going to be a bigger loss than normal. So that's on you to make sure you know what you're doing. Which was this course I can speak to? Hennicito. What's the indicator above VIX? I just said that one. So the squeeze momentum kind of like lets you understand what the squeeze potential is. So as you can see here, when the squeeze was, obviously very, very, very far out. And this is why we got that last minute calls. If you guys caught those with me, which hit like almost, I believe 80%, but I was able to get out at 70%. So that's what the squeeze momentum does. It gives you the squeeze from the top and the bottom. Obviously, if it's hyperextended, it works out pretty well with the MACD as well, if you can see. So once you see it go that far out, and then the MACD kind of push, you get that nice little jump up. So it works pretty well. And then if it stays like this on the 15-minute, where the reds, is all the way on the bottom, as you can see here, then yeah, we're just having a bearish day. As you can see yesterday, we were very bullish the past 2 days, and it's been all the way on top. So we were very bullish the past, 2 trading days. And today has just been under. It's just been very, very bearish throughout the whole day. So unless we see this kind of push back up and then switch into the green, then that means the squeeze is over from the bottom and we should be squeezing back up. Vice versa, when it goes down like that, then that means we're going to squeeze to the downside. So it's a pretty cool momentum squeeze indicator. I don't use it that much, only when I want to make sure to know that this is going to continue to be a bearish day. It works along the 8 EMA as well. As you can see, one candle broke above the 8 EMA, but you need two. So it stayed bearish when we remained under the 8 EMA all day. Going one by one, guys. Bear with me. You're always more than welcome. XRP long swing, please. I already have the XRP. Got it at what is it? 110, right? Let me double check too. I mean, our XRP's 210. Sorry, we got them at 210, so we have a really good position. I mean, even if it goes right back down to 210, you can just buy more. So XRP is already a really good long position, which is why I got 25x. That's the whole reasoning why Bitcoin is 25x and the XRP play is 25x. Yeah, we pushed up to like 200 on BTC and almost 420 on XRP. But we secure some profits, and we just wait now. That's the good thing about holding lower leverage, just so you can get to the next area. I decided I want to sell MQSP, been always selling earlier than yours due to fear. Well, that's, how can I say this? Let's go to today, right? So today we got in around, what was it, 596? 596.20 is what we were looking to get in, right? But obviously it pushed, before anything, right? Before we were even able to get into it, it pushed down really hard, and that's when I was like, oh shit, like this thing is moving like crazy already. I don't want to chase it. If we look at the 5-minute, this is when that big drop happened. And as soon as that happened, and I saw that, we're going way below and all of the EMAs were just spreading down. The SMI was very high. Then you can literally say, yeah, you can FOMO it, which we did. So when we FOMO'd it, it worked out. We got 25%, and with the runners, we got 40%. And obviously, it went bonkers after that, but we got out. But it's still good because we got in over 150 contracts. If you're going in big, you don't really care for the rest, right? You don't really want to risk the rest in case it reverses up. But obviously, it was a very bearish day. So, yeah. It's really hard to tell, especially why I call it a quick scalp play, because we always want to quick scalp it because it can reverse instantly because it's very volatile around 7 a.m. So hopefully that kind of helps you out, and just make sure you're listening to me when I'm doing it. And if I tell you I'm closing half or I'm leaving runners, then just do the same. It's all a mindset that you have to keep to yourself, and set your emotions aside. But just listen to me when I say it. I use Weeble. Any update? Oh, hold on, sorry. Yeah, okay. So the next one is any updates on SDST is expected to go up. Yes. So it's still expected to go up. Obviously, there was a bearish start to the year. So definitely a lot of stuff in there. It's mostly insider. So keep a hold of those. We'll probably be touching that one again. So I'm holding it with you. I'm right there with you. I'm at 465 is my position, and it's at 370 right now. So I'm right there with you. It's not a big deal. It's only down 20% right now. So keep a hold of those. You'll see me mention it again. Don't worry. No, I'm talking about the indicator showing arrows with 5, 10, 15D. 5, 10, 15D. What is that? You talking about these, the 2, 1, and 2? Vincent? Vincent Scott, is it? Is that the one you're talking about? Halfway to the right. I'm not sure. I'm looking. It's at the end, all the way to the right. And all the way to the right. Talking about this? Oh, you're talking about these. Yeah, that's about a part of the strat assistant. You're talking about this right here, right? Yeah, that's a part of the strat assistant. You get it with it. So, like, you see, if you scroll this out, you'll get it. It's gonna tell you like 15, 30, and the hour is upwards. 4 hour daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly is all looking bearish. I don't really look at those. The only way to look at those is if you look at the 4 hour. So if you go to the 4 hour, this is very important to look, because you want to see how far out it goes. And that's why I told you guys today that it's looking very bearish because it wants to fill this gap. And if it fills this gap, then we're going lower than our next area, which is the 585.41, which is why I said 585 by the end of the week, and why we got the 586 puts for tomorrow, which they hit pretty damn well. But like I said, sometimes they push it up for no damn reason, just to throw us off, and that's basically what threw us off, right? A lot of people started panicking and saying they're down a lot, but we came out alive big time on that one. Can you explain? Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Any recommendation on what platforms to trade? Yeah, I use Webull for options. I use Fidelity for my long terms. And I use Bitunix and BingX for crypto and Tradeovate for futures. What do you think about NVIDIA call? Well, I mean, I sent you guys my watch list for January, so NVIDIA is a part of them. I mean, it did push up pretty damn hard, but there's always a small correction in almost every stock, and I think this is a good correction that's happening right now. Um, let me go to it really quickly and check it out. So you can see here the 4 hours pretty damn bearish, but we did get that push up. As I said in the beginning of January, we had the buy EMA and pushed up all the way to 153 from around the 138 area. So it did pretty well. Obviously, it did go back down, but it did pretty well. And you can see the quarterly and the monthly on that, what you guys were talking about. So it is still a bullish ticker. The 15 is pretty damn bullish right now, oversold. It's gonna have its time. It's gonna have its time to push up, and from there, as you can see, we hit a pretty damn high level again, and it pushed right back down. But it's ready. The 200 MA is pushing up. It's pretty damn good, but I wouldn't say get anything else now. Just sort of got to see what's going to happen. We've got to wait through the inauguration. That's why I said don't take any SPY swings right now, because there's so much volatility going on. Hopefully that helps you out. What's a good place for funded accounts? There's a lot of them. There's Apex. There's Trade Profits, which I'm sponsored by. They're all pretty good. I mean, it just depends on how and what you like. I had a lot of people like Apex more than Trade Profits, and I mean Take Profit Trader, and some people say Take Profit Trader is better than Apex. And there's a couple of other ones out there that I haven't really mingled with. I've never been funded, by the way. Just to let you guys know, I've never used these, so don't ask me anything about funded accounts. You can ask somebody who has a funded account. I don't know how the hell they work. Never used it myself, but I just know that they work, and I know a lot of people that have funded over like 6 accounts now. For MQSQ, can you give us heads up, for example, if the next candle turns to red, we are going to put so that we can match your entry? Well, it depends on, how do I explain this? So it's not really always about the candle per se. It's not really always about the candle. It's also about the RSI, the SMI, the VIX, what's happening. So like, as you can see here, because the VIX wanted to cross and it didn't and open back up, this is why we kind of took puts. So yeah, obviously another candle drop. So we had a 2-1 at open. So 15 minutes. This is 7 o'clock. And then at 2, we had a 2 down candle. So that's a 2-1-2 down. So obviously that's a push down. So if you're watching it with me, then yeah, you can possibly catch it at the same time. But that's basically what we're looking for everything to work together. So I can't really explain, exactly what's going to happen, because I'm looking at so many things at the same time that sometimes I even miss a couple of the indicators, but most things that we care about is the price action and the volume. So you can see here we had a big red sell-off, and we had a green and a red, and you can just see the volume dropping. So when the volume is just dropping like that, it's not good. So when the volume is going up, that means we're ready to push back up. So you can see here how the volume kept peaking up and up, even though it was going down, but that means more people are looking at it, right? Because the more volume you get, the more people are playing this play, and which is why we got that really big green candle at the end of the day. Plus the nice 2-2 up candle. So it was not bad. Yeah. Can you explain how you use the SMI? I mean, yeah, I basically just explained it. So the SMI is basically overbought. Um, the RSI is, your relative strength index. So if you can see here that it became very, very weak here, which is why we got that push back up. And you can see throughout the day that it's remained in the middle. So you have one, two, three lines, right? And this is your 50 line, kind of like 50%. So when you're looking at these, if it's staying in the middle, it's just moving sideways, and you can see that it's just going up and down, up and down, up and down, but moving sideways. No big push down, big push up, just sideways throughout the day. And as for the MACD, I do have a video on that, but all you're really waiting for, if we can go back to, let's say, yesterday, is this little cross, right? So as soon as the blue line crossed under the orange line, we're looking bearish now. And you can see that we became very bearish, along with we had a rising wedge. And basically when it crossed the SMI, it just kept going down. And you can see that it just became lower and lower and lower all the way till we got down to here. Then that's when we kind of get out of the play. And it just remained at the bottom throughout the day until it recrossed again and pushed up. And that's how we got this big gap up. And then for the vortex, it's the same thing. So it's a cross here. So let's say you are in these MACD play, right? And then you also saw the red cross the blue, meaning very bearish. So once we got that, now we're 100% thinking, okay, this is going to continue back down and go, further down, which it did. So the further the vortex is apart, the better that your play is going to stay the same. As soon as it starts squeezing to each other, that's when it becomes a little bit volatile, and then you wait till it crosses, and then here when it crossed, obviously it pushed the other way. So the blue crossed the red, and that's how we got a bullish movement, which is that gap up right here. And same thing over here. They're so far apart that this is continuing to be puts because it's so far apart. And this, I explained it already. So it all kind of works together. If you guys look at everything together and make sure that everything goes down. That's why some people say, oh man, you should have caught it earlier. But this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for everything to align. And then right when it aligns, which is around this here, that's when I want to get into the next possible play. And same with the SMI. Once it gets overbought, you can see that it went down. And vice versa. Once it gets oversold, that's when we got that nice push up at the end of the day, which is those calls that we got towards the end of the day, if anybody got into those. All right, let me see. A tight stop loss is 20%, and mid stop loss is 50%. And a no stop loss is obviously YOLO. Do you think SPY is going to close the gap on 582? Is it 582 or 585? It's 585 right now. 582 is the next one, next level up. But yeah, I think it should close the gap of 585 and then go to the 582 if it works out. TradingView is better to use for indicators, yes. In my opinion, I mean, everybody trades differently, but that's just what I'm used to. Will we do more MQSP YouTube still? I do it every day, brother. Tyler. I do the MQSP every day, but I think some of the Discords delete the link. I don't know why, but I guess they think something wrong with it because I'm taking you guys away from Discord. But I've explained it a million times. I cannot go to each Discord and go live. It's just not how it works. Vincent, you said you don't have that for some reason? You should have it. I mean, I know a lot of people that had it. Maybe take it out and put it back in. Make sure that you got the right one too. So what is this one? Let me share it. Here, I'll put the link in here, see if that works. Make sure you have that one. Hopefully that helps out. Because I think there was a different strat, but that's the one that I use. So hopefully that helps out. Honestly, Rivian is not going to move if Tesla doesn't move. So you got to just keep an eye on Tesla because it is the grandfather of moving electric vehicles. So I'm very bearish on the market. So I'm not sure if it's going to hit Friday, to be honest. And we are closed on Thursday. So that's another full day of no trading, which can affect it. So I would be careful of it. If it's down more tomorrow, I would get out and just possibly look at further out for the Rivian calls. Is this your full-time job? So at this point, did you quit your job to trade full-time? Well, I don't have a job, but I own a gas station and I own an apartment complex. And I own a few homes that I rent out, Airbnb and stuff like that. And yeah, this is my full-time job. And like I said, I've managed to make my money within the first 2 hours of the market. But I do stay on sometimes with you guys just to give you guys more plays and more insight on a couple of swings. Just like, GameStop was a nice swing. We got into, what else did we get into today? God, I forget. Oh, Netflix. Netflix was a banger. So, I try to find plays for you guys as I go. But my most money that I make, like my goal target, I try to hit within the first hour or two of the market, which is the $4,000 that I shoot for. And sometimes it exceeds it. And sometimes if it's a shit day, shit market, then I just wait till the next day. I don't revenge trade. I just wait till the next day because I know I'm going to make more money the next day. Do you expect SPY to drop more in the coming days? Yeah, as I said, I'm looking for 585 to hit first and then go lower. But then we should by next week start seeing a momentum back up going into inauguration. Are markets closed tomorrow? No, they are not. They're closed on Thursday for some damn reason for dead president, which they can celebrate on President's Day. But I'm not gonna go there. It actually pissed me off that they said that. I don't know if they have Vortex, Jay. If you search it in the indicator and it's not there, then it's probably not. What exactly do you look for in the MQSP play? I kind of just went over it, so hopefully that answered it. I'm going to buy a SPY leap option for July. What do you think is a relatively same strike price? Thank you. If you're going to push anything towards July, I would stay in the price that it's at, which is going to be more expensive. So if we're in the 580 to 590 range, I would take a 585 calls for July. I wouldn't go far out. So yeah, they're going to be more expensive, but they're going to pay out more. So you got to understand when options are more expensive, it actually makes you more money. So for instance, Netflix today, it was a pretty expensive play, right? I mean, for most people, they don't want to buy Netflix, or SPX at like $400 or like $300 or whatever, right? But when plays are more expensive, it doesn't mean that, oh, I can't get it. No, it actually means that this is going to continue and become like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a play, a contract. I mean, So you got to understand. So if you're gonna get a SPY play for July, that's gonna cost you, let's say, $700 a contract, and let's say you get two, right? That's $1,400. That $1,400 can become 10K by July. So you're literally accumulating great money right there, just by staying in the zone it's at now. If you're thinking it's going to be bullish and it's going to go further, and if this thing actually goes to 610, can you imagine what your 585 calls are going to be when you get closer? It's just going to be like $10,000 a contract. So that's how you got to look at it. So a lot of people, they think like bullish, but they don't put into consideration that the market can have a correction. Interest rates that come out are bad. They're gonna imagine if they raise interest rates instead of bring them down. Like Trump is saying, interest rates are still not where we need them to be. They should go up, right? So if interest rates goes up, home sales goes down. If interest rates goes down, home sales go up. So you kind of got to start looking at stocks like for homes if interest rates go down, right? So you start looking into realtor companies, stuff like that. That's how you kind of got to look at the big picture at that time. I'm going to buy a spotlight. Okay, can you explain your steps? Don't go into detail about what you do before entering a trade. I mean, basically, I just said it, right? I look for volume. I look for the SMI to see where it's at. I look for the candles, obviously. As you can see, I'm always looking at these, the 3-1-2s, the 2-1-2 ups. I try to look for all these. So here, the 2-1-2 down is really good because we were at the 80 MA. So this is a really good put, which we got those puts as well. So you're looking at almost everything at the same time. So the SMI, the RSI, the vortex, what it's doing. And this right here, this vortex just shows you that it never crossed once today. So that gives you a better perspective and into thinking like, okay, this is not going back up, right? I mean, the vortex is so spread out that it never crossed. And even when it tried to over here, it's spread out again. You can see the push back up. So until you see a cross, until you see something that gives you 100% good feeling that, hey, this is it, this is gonna go the other way, then you just don't want to touch it. You can't just gamble it or just guess that, oh, this should go back up now. I mean, it's gone way too low. It should go back up. No, wait for initiation. Wait for the MACD cross. Wait for a vortex cross. Wait for the SMI to be oversold. As you see here, it oversold. It did push up, right? So you have to be looking at everything at the same time. You can't just, throw your dice and be like, I should go back up now. Because I get messages all the time, people saying, hey, like this thing is going so damn low. Like, do you think it's gonna go back up now? Should we go into calls? And it's like, no, we're not going into calls. And just today from my Discord, I had a question around like 10 o'clock, I think. And the guy's like, oh, this is going to go back up and it's going to go crazy. I'm going to take 597 calls. And I said, no, don't get it because it's still very bearish on the day. So you don't want to get that. If you want to quick scalp it, then yeah, it's fine. That's why there's quick scalping and there's, a play that you hold a little bit longer. But today was a really fun time to quick scalp all day. And obviously we got the sell EMA in the morning and it's just dropped all the way down. That's from 595 to about 586.43, which was a big move down from that sell EMA, which is the 8 and the 34 cross. And that's when the blue line crosses the yellow line. If you take your SPY options play with MNQ scalp, is that what would be a good stop loss for the future? My stop loss is always 50 ticks. to be honest, and my PT is always about 100 ticks, like my ultimate PT. But I always try to close out whenever I see profits, especially with MQSP. You want to be able to close it out quick. But yeah, my ticks is always 50 ticks. So it depends on how much money you're putting in and how much you feel good about. That's my stop loss. How do you play your watch list? So in the morning, I wake up. This is my watch list. As you can see, we do have extended hours, which obviously there's no extended hours right now. But in the extended hours, is going to show you what's moving up and what's moving down. So I kind of just scroll through them. So if I see things that are down versus what's up, and I look at the volume and just to see, okay, what is this volume compared to what its average volume is, right? So you can see here you have the average volume and what the volume is today. So with with SPY, the volume is exceeded, right? So if you look at CBNA, Carvana, the volume is 9.2, right? And the average volume is 3.6. So it exceeded its volume. So when you look at the extended which hours, which is when I do my pre-market watch list, you'll see these and you'll say, okay, well, these are up, like these top five are up. And then I start scrolling down, and anything that's up a 1%, as you can see here, anything that's around 1% is going to be on my watch list all day. Anything that's below 1%, I'm not going to touch. And that just means it's not enough volume for me. Now, can it still go up? Yes, 100%. Obviously, there could be news, there could be a million other things. But the nice thing here is whenever you click on it in TradingView, kind of gives you the recent news or anything that's going on about the stock. So as here it says, outperformed and adjusted the price target from 270 to 280. Right, so that's RBC Capital adjusted it from 270 to 280. So they raised the price target on this ticker, which is the main reason why it was a big mover. I didn't have a watch list today. I didn't get a chance to, but obviously I usually do. And vice versa, the same thing, the other way around, right? So you look at the average volume is 96 million, the volume is 73 million. And that's why soon was a big drop today. And same thing. You look for anything that's about 1%. So when you're looking at a market like this, for sure that this is going to be a bearish ass day. Now, when you're looking at it in the morning and mostly everything is green on your watch list, then it's going to be a pretty bullish day, right? It's looking pretty bullish, which we had a really nice bullish day on Friday, and almost everything was green. But when you're looking at this and more than 70% of the list is red, then damn well that's a pretty damn bad day. And that's all because I have almost everything, every sector in my watch list, every big play, every FOMO play like the GME and AMC and all that. It's all here on this list. So whenever something pops up, it's gonna pop up for me here. Hopefully that kind of helps you guys know how I do my watch list. And also when I double click these, like let's say today, or we go to the 4 hour, right? So right now we're at a 2-2 candle, right, for Carvana. So it's in a bullish stance right now because it's in a 2-2, but we just got to see what happens tomorrow. But you can see the SMI on the 4 hour is looking to keep continuing up. Now, if this passes the 50% mark around here, then yeah, this is going to continue pushing up throughout tomorrow, throughout next week. If this continues to go up, that means this is just going to continue being bullish. But now when we see the 2-2 candle, now we can actually go in here and set up a marker here, set up another marker at the low of this last candle for the 4 hour. And this is going to become our support level and our resistance level for tomorrow. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So whenever you're in the 4 hour, this is how we do our watch list. So you can do that on almost everything. You know, you can go to, let's say, Delta Airlines. You know, a lot of people are bullish on it, right? So I can set these now today, um, you know, and put these levels in. And then tomorrow when we wake up, if it's below here, you know, that means it's going to continue bearish. If it's, you know, in the middle, then we're going to wait for a break to the upside, to the downside. If we wake up tomorrow and it's gapped up over here above the resistance level, then yeah, we're going to be pretty bullish throughout the day on it. And that's typically what we look for when we play these plays. As you can see, the day before, this was our resistance and support level, and it gapped up all the way here. So obviously, we're pretty damn bullish on the play. Hopefully, that helps out for you guys to understand the watch list. Are you using the default setting for your indicators across the time frames, or do you adjust it based on the time frame? No, I don't adjust anything. I keep it the way it is because I like the way it is. I don't like to adjust anything. The only thing I really adjust is the colors, and that's just my, you know, just the way I like to put the colors and separate them. And that's the way I'm used to it. But you can change the colors how you want. Let me take the MQSP on futures. Do you trade Tesla at all or stay away? Yeah, I trade Tesla. I traded Tesla before New Year's Eve. I trade a lot of stuff, but I mean, I stick to SPY on a day trades. But when I swing trade, yeah, I take Teslas, Netflix, airlines, XOP, any oil if I know that it's gonna go up. So yeah. Ivan, it's up to you on MKSP. You know, if you see me closing half, then you close half on futures. It's the same thing. Ensure the watch is play because the options are working until after market open. Should I be on MU's options market? You can't really buy at market with options. You can buy stocks, like it'll buy it for you, but options are going to be different when the market opens. The MQSP, the reason why it's different is because it's literally one candle that we're looking to happen, right? So we're literally looking at one candle to work for us, and if that one candle doesn't work, that's when we end up taking a loss, right? Let me see here. So we're literally looking at one candle, right? So that's all we're playing. We don't care about what's going to happen throughout the day. All we care about is one candle and what it can do for us. How far down it's going to go, that's up to you and how much you want to hold it. But we always close, a nice 5 to 10% in the beginning, and then we close the second half around 20%, which most of the time works. And then we leave runners to get 30, 40, 50. If you're feeling ballsy, you can hold it even longer. Can you share the watch list play from the options order? Yeah, I just did that. What's the volume indicator again? Volume is just volume, like how much volume is going into the stock, which is this right here. So this is what it is, and it's just volume. The ticker is literally called volume. It's right here. I mean the indicator. Oversold on these. Hold on, sorry. So oversold on these is right here. Overbought is right here on SMI. So you can see when it was oversold, it was bright green, and when it's overbought, when it's oversold, it's very orange, as you can see right there. That's extremely overbought. You drop in knowledge, goddamn. What's your favorite time frame for day trading? I use 2 minutes until 10. It's five. For me, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes is very important, and then I'll look at the 15 to initiate continuation in the play. Those are my two favorite. Does the bearish versus bullish market affect the MQSP strat? No, it does not, because we don't care which way it goes. We just want it to go one way for us, right? That's why we take calls or puts. The only thing that can affect the MQSP is morning quick scalp play is the economic calendar. If something is being reported around 7 a.m. Pacific time, then obviously something crazy is about to happen. So even if we feel bearish and the news, all this good news comes out, then yeah, it's going to be bullish. Hopefully that helps out. I don't, to be honest with you. I don't look at broadening formations, Matt. I know some people do, and it works pretty well with the strat assistant, but I never pay attention to that. And it's just because I have all this stuff that I look at, and I also always have my zero DTE open, so you can see that we've been bearish ever since this cross here, and bearish on the market tide. So the market tide was pretty damn strong, and that's using unusual wells, which I love. Which also gives you obviously these right here. So you can sit here and put Tesla, and it'll show you literally what the sweeps are, any floor traders that are taking it, and it'll give you the call, the date, how much volume, how much open interest is on display. So this is kind of what I go to when I want to find plays. And before 10 a.m., what do you recommend, or just wait till after 10 a.m.? Is that like Eastern time? Before 10 a.m., no, like at the opening is what I take my watch list plays. So whatever is the highest mover is what I take. So if I see Carvana's open up pretty damn well, like it opened up here, we could have taken this nice big push up, and it wicked at the 207 from 199. Just a big push, and that's usually what I play in the morning, because that's when you get that really big money push on those plays. Do you look at option volume at all? Yes, I do. Very important. Options volume and the SMI. I mean, and the open interest. Yeah. So the MQSP, Vincent, is I always have the 1 minute, the 5 and the 15 and the 4 hour. 4 hour is not really necessary for the MQSP, but it kind of shows me, what it's doing for the first half hour. But the 1 minute is important when we're doing the MQSP, and the 5 minute and 15 minute is what we're looking for the initiation of the play. Because if we're looking at the 1 minute on let's say SPY, right? Let me go back to it. So like if we're looking at the 1 minute on SPY, what we're looking for is what it's doing on the SMI, right? So the SMI pushed all the way down to the half, pushed back up, and then went way down over here. That's when it was oversold. And you can see that's why we got on the 15 minute that nice little wick up, right? And when we got that wick up, the SMI went back up, and then it dropped right back down to over here, which is right around where we got that next big red candle. So yeah, the 1 minute does help, but obviously look at how volatile it is. But it helps with the morning quick scalp play, big time. Thank you for your time. Of course, brother. How do you? We should take a trade. We'll see. I'll probably look up something later. How do you time perfect exit when taking a trim? Using all the indicators, like I said. You look at the SMI, you look at the obviously the strat assistant, which is your price action. It helps out with the price action instead of me having to look for price action. This is all being done here for me. So as soon as we got this two red, the two candle, and it opened up around what this area, then I'm done with this play, right? So we got it from here to here. This would be indication of when to get out. So anytime you see a candle go against your play, even if it's going to be like a fake out, then that's when you should trim and get out, or hold some runners and put a stop loss at break even. Taking your recent alert today about 50 MA crossing 200 as an example, the chart differs significantly. If I enable the ATH and I was curious to see what broader relevant impacts may be. Well, obviously, the further you go out, then like if you go to, what was it? So this was 5 minute, right? The 5 minute had a MA cross, right around here. So we had the 50 cross the 200 MA here, right? And then if you go to, let's say, the daily, where is the 200 MX? All the way down here, right? So it's irrelevant as a continuation play throughout, the rest of the week, right? Because this is just a cross on the 5 minute. It didn't even cross on the 15 minute. So, but because we got a sell, then obviously we're looking even more bearish than usual. And as soon as this SMI hit high, then this sell MA became even more of a clearer play that this is going to continue going down, especially with a sell EMA in the morning, a sell MA midway through the day. That's just has bearish written all over it. Can you explain how to read option flow and open interest briefly? Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the option flows, the volume and the open interest, what you want to look at when you're looking at a play, right? Um, for instance, let's go to Tesla, right? Let's see here. So if we're looking at Tesla, right? So 3 days out, let's go maybe 17 days out, right? So what I like to do is I like to keep the open interest and the volume tabs together on Webull. And when you're looking at this, you're basically just looking at volume and open interest. So if you're seeing a lot of people take 410 for Tesla, 17 days out, and the volume is 2,700, the open interest is 1,400, that's big. And you got some people taking 420 with 4,400 volume and 4,103 open interest. So these are all interested people in buying them at 420. So when you're looking at these, and then you start looking at the puts, right? You start seeing, okay, there's 4,000, 2,000, 4,000, 2,000, 4,000, another 4,000 at 450. But when you go to the puts, you're seeing 2,000, 1,000, and 1,000, and 1,000, and 1,000. So more people are more bullish on Tesla rather than bearish. Now, this doesn't mean that 100% this is going to be bullish, but at least you're on the right side, of the idea. Because if you're seeing all these people looking bullish and they like it, then obviously somebody knows something, some floor trader knows something, some insider knows something, right? All these major volume that's being bought in has a reasoning behind it, right? And then when you go to the option flow and you have Tesla open, and you start seeing like there's more bullish than bearish, right? And there's more people like pushing for 450, more people pushing. There's only one guy here pushing for 392 with a $284,000 premium versus all of these people that are very bullish on Tesla, right? And then you also got to look at how many days out, right? So this is 9 days out, 44 days out, 2 days out. These puts are 23 days out, 23 days out. So you start comparing all of these and scrolling through them, you're like, okay, people are more bullish on Tesla than anything else. Do you think the longer the time frame, the better your indicator works? Oh, you're talking about the this indicator? I mean, basically, I mean, like right now, this is the daily, right? So we got to sell EMA. So if we got to sell EMA here, then obviously we're still pretty damn bearish, right? Because the last time we got to buy EMA was around 547.99, and look, we never got to sell EMA till 593. So that's a good like what 50-60 bucks in the SPY, and that was when in August of 2024, August 16, 2024, we got to buy EMA on the daily. So yeah, 100%. This thing is very very reliable. And then as long as you got all of your zones ready and you see this breakout, then you know for sure that this should jump way back down to the 200 MA, and then you can kind of start seeing what the next level is, which is around what 568. So you can bet on it dropping to 568 before it makes its next big bull run. When does it come? Only God knows. So because this was what in November, so you can bet on it doing that in around July if that's the case. But yeah, you can take swing trades out, and swing trades don't move too quickly. If it's just kind of like bouncing up and down, so you're not really going to be losing money as long as your leap plays are pretty far out. And then apparently, like if you got like something at like $400 a contract and it goes to like 200 and then you still see it, it pushed up, but it's going back down, then you can start adding more to the position since it's a swing play and you can average down on your position. And now your position is what, like 280 a contract instead of 400. So you feel a little bit better about it. So I never set a stop loss. I just closed the contract because, as I said, I do set up hotkeys on Webull. So control B is buy 150 contracts, and control S is sell 150 contracts. So if I just see it not going against me, and I mean not going my way, and I don't see that it is going to curve back up and that I should take a stop loss, then I just control S, sell the position, and I'm good. I just keep my eye on it. That's all it is. Because if I set a stop loss and then I see like, oh, wait a minute, it looks like it's flushing us out, but it is going to go our way, after it hits stop loss, then no, I don't want that. I don't want it to sell it for me. But that's all on you and how good you are with buying and selling quickly and how quick you are. So you just got to have your finger on the trigger. You put your finger on the sell and market order. Make sure, if you have like 50 contracts, put 40 contracts and have your finger ready on the sell with the market order. Because wherever the market action does and wherever the order is at that time, it's going to sell for you at that price. So you don't have to worry about it. know I don't ask hella questions, but your method truly by clicking from more than what I was taught. Do you only use indicator EMAs or you use more? Because I have 21, you use 34. Yeah. So even I get people that ask me, like, if you see here, I have a 65 minute. I don't know if you guys see that. So people tell me, why do you have a 65 minute? I actually made this myself. So it only goes 15, 30, 45, and then it switches to 45. I made a 65 minute um, just because I've seen that it works phenomenal um, using the 65 minute. And as you can see in the 65 minute, we do have a sell EMA. We had a buy EMA here at 594 and it pushed to 600. So that's a good $6 move. Um, so I like it. I like the 65 minute only because the SMI and the vortex I feel like works very well. So you can see here when we had a vortex cross right here and it became bearish. Look at that big drop that we had. So that's a big indication, and it's giving you an extra 5 minutes on the hourly hence the 65 minute, um, which is 60 minutes in an hour. The 65 minutes pushes it more than what the 45 minute that most people use over here, like on the 45 minute, right? So you can see, look at the vortex here. It's not really that promising because even when it crosses, still pushed back up and wicked up. But the 65 minutes, I feel like, gives you that perfect cross, right? It's not like sloppy. It's not weird. You know what I mean? It's actually a perfect cross. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate it. Well, we've been on for about an hour, guys. Um, Hopefully, I was able to answer everybody's questions as well as I can. I thank you guys for coming in, and I hope you enjoyed um, some questions answered for you guys. Right? Um, I am going to head out. I'm gonna go see what the kids are doing. Appreciate you guys for coming in. I thought more people would show up, but obviously everybody has a busy day. But hey, we got a peak of 78 people in here, and that's perfect. I'm glad I was able to help everybody out. Yes, this live will be saved. It's gonna go on the live channel. It is a public one. Before I leave, if you guys could, I know it's 48 people. Can I get some likes? Tap that like. Show me some love. Appreciate you guys for coming in. And I will see you guys early in the morning.